Aid trucks are crossing into Syria from Turkey for the first time since a ceasefire came into effect on Monday. The aid on these trucks is supposed to go to Aleppo, but Syria's foreign ministry says Damascus will reject any deliveries, particularly from Turkey, which are not coordinated with the regime and the United Nations. TRT World's Ali Mustafa is outside the UN compound in the Turkish town of Cilvegoshu, where aid trucks are leaving from. Ali, what's the latest on these aid deliveries?
Well, Julia, the first batch of 20 trucks crossed the border behind me. This is the Cilvegoshu border crossing, and on the other side, there's a holding area where the UN is gathering all these trucks. All this humanitarian aid is being kept there, and the UN is waiting to see if it can get assurances related to the cessation of hostilities. Now, we're expecting more trucks to cross this border in the coming hours, but this is significant. Food, toys on the occasion of Eid for kids in Aleppo, and essential items for this area in Aleppo, in eastern Aleppo, which has been besieged by the regime for several months now. This is where this aid will head to, but for now it is not. It is being kept on the other side of this border post in a holding area, and the UN says it is looking for assurances that the cessation of hostilities will be subscribed to by all sides, that there will be no violence while these trucks pass.
Now, we've heard reports that the Syrian regime has broken the ceasefire. What are you hearing?
I think we have to be cautious here. This incident that we're talking about happened soon after the cessation of hostilities began at sunset on Monday. And the Turkish Foreign Minister, Mevlut says that the Syrian regime violated by firing rockets. There were reports of rockets being fired from regime-held areas in Syria into Turkey. So the Turkish Foreign Minister says that this is a breach of trust. It is a breach of the cessation of hostilities. Let's take a listen at what Mevlut had to say.
It seems that especially the Syrian regime does not want to honor the ceasefire. The regime broke the ceasefire last night, as soon as it was declared. Warnings have been made. I hope everyone is doing its part to make this ceasefire a permanent one.
Mevlut there speaking on this violation of the ceasefire that he says the Syrian regime is responsible for. But we have to be cautious here. We have to take things into a wider context. There haven't been any violations or reported violations of the cessation of hostilities today, which is Tuesday. This is the first full day of the cessation of hostilities, and all reports suggest that there has been a significant decrease in violence in regime as well as rebel-held areas. And this is what all stakeholders, including Turkey, are counting on, that the cessation of hostilities continues and carries on for at least a week to provide a benchmark on which to build the future of peace talks and diplomacy on.
Ali Mustafa outside the UN compound in Cilvegoshu. Thank you very much.